there, thanks for tuning in to today's Drawing for Adults program brought to you by the Ann Arbor District Library and the Ann Arbor Art Center. Today we are going to choose a meaningful word that will kind of inspire you for your year as kind of a focus word. It's just kind of a nice way to set an intention or kind of a goal or just way of being for this new year. So you can see here I've chosen bloom. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this process, but here's some, you can look up different word of the year, focus words for the year for yourself, but here you can see some of the ones that I've pulled out and highlighted for myself. So these are just words that I looked up, and then I just thought about which words really applied most to where I am in my life and what direction I would like to go in this new year. And so I have highlighted bloom as the one that I would really like to focus on. I also think it's just a fun one because it also has some cool like visual elements that you can do. So when you are using your word, what we want to do first is create a nice background for your word. So you can see here that I've used some watercolors. Now you don't have to use watercolors, but you can if you'd like. And I've just created lots of layers of different warm colors. So I chose warm colors because I'm not really exactly sure, but it just felt right. So I just layered colors that are at least really similar so that they go together and they won't be they won't turn to mud or anything like that. But you don't have to use this. If you would rather go straight into, your word, that's okay too. So if you do decide to do the watercolor, make sure that's dry before you start sketching out your word with your pencil. But once you do that, then you can add ink, and then after you've inked it, then you can erase those pencil lines. So that's nice for making sure that you center it correctly. You don't end up with teeny tiny letters at the end of your paper, for example. And what I'm doing now is I'm thickening up the places on the letters where when I draw those letters out, anywhere where I go down with my pen or my pencil, I'm making those thicker. So that's just kind of your typical hand lettering rule of thumb. I am not a professional calligrapher or hand letterer by any means, so this is, just my little version, but you can always do whatever you want with your letters. You can get really creative. This is just something for you. So it's your focus word of the year. You make it what you want. Maybe it's just writing it on a post-it note and sticking it on your bathroom mirror. That is totally fine. It doesn't have to be overly artistic, but of course, I think part of this process is kind of meditating on that word for the year. And so making it, aesthetically pleasing, of course, is a great process, and just making you appreciate it even more. And so for me, this word bloom, you can see I'm adding a bunch of little like vines and leaves and floral petals and that type of thing. And, it's a way for me to just think about what that means for me to bloom this year. I think about this word for me is kind of embracing some of those other words before about, I think actually the word embrace was on there, and growing, cultivate, all of that I think is kind of wrapped up in this word bloom for me. And so think about what this word, or what your word that you've chosen for your year this year, what that means for you. And then as you decorate it, as you draw around it, just embrace what that means. And I hope that you'll use this word, that you'll use this work of art to really inspire you to live out your best year this year.